What is going on, everybody? Swammer Fitness here at my home gym, Ultraflex. Today, we're going to hit legs. Take you through a total leg workout. We're going to do the warm up, most important part, and then, full workout. Let's do it. All right, so leg day, right? Most important thing I could suggest when it comes to leg day is warming up, especially if your knees have been through some freaking trauma like mine have. Super heavy squats when I was younger, heavy walking lunges, not to mention being in the Marine Corps, the infantry as a machine gunner, construction, stuff like that. Warm your leg, and especially your knees up. Like I can, even just like right now with my knees, I can feel a stretch or like a pull in this knee here. And it's like, it's cold. So I'm gonna take you through some stuff I do to get my legs warmed up for my leg day. All right, so this is one of my favorite exercises to kind of warm up or at least stretch out my quads and everything, right? So when I'm doing this, what I'm thinking is driving my knee straight down. Now, if you're a lot more balanced than me, you can do this without assistance, without the pole. My knee, not the most coordinated, not the most balanced. And so having this really allows me to not worry so much about my balance, really focus on, am I getting the stretch? Now, the stretch, you should feel starting like right here and working your way all the way down into the knee. So it's very easy for you to start to lean forward while you're doing this. That's one of the reasons that I have the pull for assistance. And I think, right, I'm driving my knee straight down, allowing my hip to stay forward, and my knee to kind of roll back. Really get that stretch from the hip all the way down through the quad into the knee. Now, another one that I like to do, right? Kind of up and out. Kind of warm the hips up. Some blood in there. You know, maybe 10, 15 one way. And then 10 to 15 the other way. All right, next, we do some hamstrings. So what I do is I kind of start wide, like I'm going to do a does not count deadlift, aka a sumo deadlift. I'm going to come down 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3. Each time I'm doing this, trying to get my hands to go a little bit further back each time. When I bring my feet a little bit closer, same thing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. While I'm doing this, I'm squeezing my glutes just to kind of start engaging them as well. Now, once your feet get to about shoulder width apart, I just move my hands out to the outside. Now, for calf, I found this real groundbreaking, crazy, like ludicrous way of warming them up so that you're guaranteed to never like get a cramp or anything like that. But pay close attention, right? You're going to start with the toes about a little bit less than shoulder width apart. And then here's the crazy part, right? Follow closely. Up on your toes and squeeze. And you slowly come back down. And that's it. That's how you warm up calves. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys a pro tip. So if you're like me, you don't have the best shoulder mobility, right? Now, if we're training calf, we're training legs today. We're gonna start with calf. Now, the calf machine that I normally use is being repaired right now. So I'm gonna use a barbell now. The issue being, I can't really get my arms far enough back to grip the barbell. So what I do right here, I'll put straps on it right here. That way it allows me to grip a little bit lower so I can still hold the dump or the barbell and do the repetition safely. So let me show you guys how it's done. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna superset it with something that looks a little silly, but it kills your calves. All right, so we're gonna go straight from that into basically squatted calf raises. So it takes a little bit of balance to get used to it first. But what you're doing, when you come up, you want to basically imagine you're bringing your whole body straight up like a calf raise. You're gonna squeeze at the top like that. So what you don't want to do is kind of allow your hips to go back and up. You're not really moving anything. You're not really moving your body weight. You're kind of just shifting the weight. So kind of stack everything up on top of each other. And then come up, squeeze, down, up, squeeze. Now towards the end, you're gonna get real fatigued. And you're gonna want something that you can grab onto, kind of balance like I'm right here. But this is a great way to superset calves. Gosh, that's hurt. Oh. All right, so now for the fun stuff. So we're gonna start with hamstrings. Gonna do seated hamstring curl. Gonna do 2 working sets. Big thing when it comes to hamstrings. A lot of people will do like half reps, stuff like that. Same with like bicep curls and stuff like that, because it is really easy to do half reps with a curling exercise. So with this one, again, we're not doing anything stupid heavy. We're gonna do a weight that allows us to really feel each rep. We're gonna be slow and controlled, and just basically make things suck as bad as possible with as little weight as possible. It's bodybuilding. So let's get to it. I don't know if you noticed while I was doing those sets, I had my toes pointed up towards me. And that's just a personal preference. I feel it a lot. Everything just feels better biomechanically when I point my toes up towards me. Some people want to point them away. That's your prerogative by all means. But for me, it feels best to have the toes pointed up. I feel like I can just squeeze my hamstring a lot better that way. All right, so this one isn't really in my current routine, but I feel this sitting here on days like today when, you know, my legs are just feeling, mainly my knees, just feeling a little bit colder than normal, a little bit more rickety. So really, it's the goal here is not to move any crazy weight. It's literally just to really warm up the knees and quads. And the reason I'm doing it right now is because the next exercise is a bilateral pressing movement, aka hack squats. So definitely want to make sure that I get lots of blood, lots of warmth, lots of flexibility, all in the quads and knees. Want them to feel nice and loose and everything before I go and move over to a heavy pressing movement, or pushing movement, I guess. Pressing, pushing, same difference. Again, not heavy weight here. Really just feeling the muscle engage. I don't know if y'all can see it. More down, you can kind of see the little feathering I still have. Fluttering a little bit. Hey, Katie. Slow and controlled. Squeeze at the top. All right, so clearly I already did some warm-up sets. Now we're gonna do working set. We're gonna do 2 working sets. The hack squat here. Literally have a video on why I love this hack squat, so I won't go too much into it. We'll just get straight into it. So I'm gonna go and put my belts on and engage dark side mode. All right, so check this out. This is one of the reasons that I love my home gym, Ultraflex. They got some like old school equipment. I don't even know if it's old school. I think it's old school. It feels old school. Old school equipment that a lot of gyms don't have. So check this out. So it's single leg hamstring curls. And if you want something that will humble you like nothing else for legs, it's these bad boys. So again, you're not doing crazy heavy weight. You really want to make sure you feel that curl, that squeeze at the top. I'm only doing like 50 pounds on this per leg. And like, that's a struggle for me. So these right here, legit. All right, so we're going to finish up with single leg press. I really like this leg press because number one, I don't have to really load the weight up on this particular leg press, because if you notice, I don't know if you see the other leg press there. This one is at a much steeper angle. So a lot less weight feels like a lot more weight versus, the other leg press. It's equivalent to, like if I were to do this weight on like a vertical leg press, it would feel like twice as much weight as this is. So I'm not going to get all into geometries and stuff like that, so I barely passed that in high school. Anyway, we're going to do basically one max set, or one, all out set here, single leg press. Again, not a lot of weight here. We don't need a lot to do this. Just because we're not focusing on moving a ton of weight. We're focusing on making the least amount of weight feel as heavy as possible. I'm slow and controlled on this, coming all the way down, basically quad to stomach or chest, and then small, not even like a pulse of top, and then back down. It's like murder. So let's do it. Let's exercise. So that is it. We're going to end it in stretching. Essentially all the stuff that we did early on in the beginning of the video, except it's going to be a static stretch. I'm not going to be coming out of the stretch until after at least 30 seconds per side. So same movements, just hold it for at least 30 seconds to really get that stretch. So that's the leg day for today. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hey!